Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister, in his address at the United Nations General Assembly today, will present Pakistan's perspective on regional and international issues, including Kashmir and Palestine disputes. Shahbaz Sharif has invited the American banks to invest in key sectors of Pakistan, including infrastructure, energy, and agriculture. Pakistan has expressed the desire to further strengthen multifaceted bilateral cooperation with Nepal in different sectors, especially in economic, trade, and tourism. The Planning Minister says the government is working to increase foreign direct investment in various sectors to enhance manufacturing and exports. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called on the United Nations Secretary General to pressure India for the settlement of the Kashmir dispute in accordance with the Security Council resolutions. Saudi Arabia has announced to form a global coalition for the implementation of a two-state solution of the Palestine issue. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif will address the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York today. In his address, the Prime Minister will highlight Pakistan's perspective on a range of international and regional issues of concern, including the Jammu and Kashmir dispute and the Palestine issue. He will affirm Pakistan's steadfast commitment to multilateralism and support for the role of the United Nations in fostering global peace, security, and prosperity. At the weekly news briefing in Islamabad, the Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch said Pakistan will continue to highlight the importance of the resolution of Jammu and Kashmir dispute for a lasting peace and stability in South Asia. Radio Pakistan will broadcast live Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's address to the United Nations General Assembly in its national hookup immediately after this news bulletin. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has invited the American banks to invest in key sectors of Pakistan, including infrastructure, energy, technology, and agriculture. He was talking to a delegation of prominent Pakistani American bankers on the sidelines of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The Prime Minister informed the delegation about the key initiatives taken by his government to stabilize the economy and attract foreign investment to Pakistan, including broadening the tax base, enhancing the ease of doing business, and ongoing reforms in the state-owned enterprises. He also briefed the delegation on the establishment of a sustainable finance framework which will allow the government to carry out a green and sustainability bond issuance in the international capital markets. The delegation lauded the government's policies that have been instrumental in achieving the macroeconomic stability in Pakistan. The delegation expressed a deep interest in cooperating with the government for the development of manufacturing sector, especially small and medium enterprises. Earlier, a delegation of the U.S.-Pakistan Business Council also called on the Prime Minister on the sidelines of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The Prime Minister said attracting U.S. foreign investment in all sectors of Pakistan's economy is the government's priority. He said the government is focused on further improving the ease of doing business in Pakistan and attaches high priority to suggestions of the corporate circles. In her remarks, the President U.S.-Pakistan Business Council, Esperanza Gilalian, shared that Pakistan is a favored destination of the American investments. Pakistan and Nepal have reiterated the commitment to continue exploring avenues for enhancing bilateral and regional cooperation. The resolve was expressed at the meeting between the Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif and his Nepalese counterpart KP Sharma Ole on the sidelines of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The Prime Minister congratulated KP Sharma Ole on assuming the office of the Prime Minister of Nepal. Shahbaz Sharif expressed Pakistan's desire to further strengthen the multifaceted cooperation between the two countries, especially in commercial and economic, trade and tourism sectors. The Prime Minister also extended an invitation to the Prime Minister of Nepal to visit Pakistan. The Planning Minister Ehsan Iqbal has called for improving the export sector to ensure sustainable economic growth in the country. Speaking at a meeting in Islamabad today, he said a sustained growth with an average rate of 8% is required to strengthen the economy and increase exports value. He said increasing foreign direct investment and enhancing productivity in every sector is the priority of the government. The minister said the confidence of investors has restored due to prudent measures of the incumbent government. This is Radio Pakistan. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called on the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to impress upon India for the release of Hurriyat leaders and resolution of the Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations resolutions. In a statement, the APHC spokesperson expressed deep concern over the plight of the illegally detained Kashmiris who are denied essential facilities including medical care. Meanwhile, the Indian troops have launched extensive raids and coordinated search operations across various districts of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir with an aim to intimidate the local Muslim population. According to Kashmir Media Service, the operations were launched in Rajouri, Poonch, Raisi, Kishtwar and Doda districts. The World Tourism Day is being celebrated today to recognize the power of travel and tourism in connecting cultures, promoting peace and boosting economies. This year, the theme of the day is Tourism and Peace. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif, in their messages on the day, have vowed to harness the tourism potential of Pakistan for socio-economic development of the country. The Minister for Planning and Development, Ehsan Iqbal, has said the government is considering establishing an entity at the federal level for the promotion of tourism. Addressing an event in Islamabad today, he said promoting tourism is a central focus of the government's economic reforms agenda. Alluding to the country's immense tourism potential, Ehsan Iqbal stated that the government will work with the provincial governments to address infrastructure shortages relating to tourism. Saudi Arabia has announced to form a global coalition for the implementation of the two-state solution of Palestine issue and establishing an independent Palestinian state. The announcement was made by the Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan during a meeting of the Arab League, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the European Union and Norway in New York on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly session. Pakistan Army's Havaldar Maqbool Ahmed has won the bronze medal in the World Bodybuilding and Fitness Challenge Championship. The 78th International Championship for Bodybuilding was held in Iran, and players from 128 countries participated in the championship. The success of Pakistan's national champion Havaldar Maqbool Ahmed is a source of pride for the country. A spell of rain is expected in the upper parts of the country from the 5th to the 8th of next month. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today, the Director General of Pakistan Meteorological Department said less than normal rainfall is expected during the post-monsoon season from October to December. Sharing details of the water position in reservoirs, he said Terbela is 86% full, while Mangla is 76% full. And finally, the weather report. Hot and humid weather is likely in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. Gusty winds with rain and thunder showers is expected in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, northeast and central Punjab, Islamabad, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.